The film begins in the Romanian capital of Bucharest. The guests are attending a wedding at the Samovar Club. Before entering the wedding hall, everyone is subjected to a security check. The bride gets up from her seat and thanks her father for making her wishes come true. When they start dancing to the song, a waiter arrives to refill the bride's father's drink. He intentionally spills the alcohol over his dress. He pretends to clean the dress but kill him with a deadly blade hidden beneath his towel. He turns out to be a professional assassin named Vincent Brazil. He hurries out of the hall through the kitchen. The guards trail him out the door, but he murders all of them and swiftly goes away. He returns to his apartment and enters another concealed unit behind the front one where he keeps his firearms. We are then introduced to a former hitman named Roland Flint who is caring for his wife. His wife was sadly sent to coma after a kingpin named Polo Jacker gang raped and assaulted her. Elsewhere, Interpol Chief Herod is having a meeting with two of his officers. He informs them of the murder and directs them to locate their hitman, Flint. They assume he is responsible for exposing their malfeasance using government cash. They claim they have no idea where Flint is and that there is only one way to bring him out if he comes out to kill Polo. They propose releasing Polo from prison in order to entice Flint. He threatens them with dire consequences if they fail. Following that, Flint is seen in his garden. His housekeeper informs him that there is a foreigner in town, a coded message that Flint recalls. Flint travels to see the foreigner who shockingly finds Flint in his car. Flint recognizes the man, his old handler named Cully, but threatens him to leave town immediately. Cully informs him that Ukraine is planning on releasing Polo. He asks Flint to murder him in exchange for millions of cash. Flint, seemingly having moved on with a new life, declines the offer regardless of his desire to avenge. The scene turns to Vincent, who is sitting in the office of his contractor, Nalbandian. He pays him in diamonds for the murder of Ivan Borisovich. He offers him another job, to assassinate Polo, a deal that would see Vincent's payments doubled. Vincent accepts the mission and departs. He returns to his apartment. There, he meets new tenants. A woman named October and her pimp named Telly. He, however, proceeds to his apartment after welcoming them. Later, while Flint is asleep on the couch next to his wife, he has a nightmare when Polo assaulted his wife. He wakes up and calls Cully. He informs him that he wants to execute the job. He wants to kill Polo for torturing his wife and putting her in a coma. Polo abused and raped his wife in front of him. Cully declines, claiming that the job has already been filled. Flint tells him that he intends to finish him off by hitting him first. He tells Cully that he will not accept payment for this assassination. Cully requests that he allow him some time so that he can provide him with the most up-to-date facts. The next day, he meets Flint and informs him that Polo would be at the local courthouse the next day. He informs him that Polo will be there to attend the hearing on his brother's case and to transport him after bail. Flint inquires about his source, but he tells him that the information is reliable and that he should not be concerned. The next day, Flint works on his sniper gear in the courthouse's front building. He is waiting for Polo and his brother to exit the court. He adjusts his rifle to the shot's position. Polo and his men emerge from the courthouse after a short time. At the same time, Vincent enters his leased van, armed with a bow. When Flint fires, Vincent's van blocks his shot, causing both of them to miss Polo. Danzo, Polo's brother, is accidentally shot by Vincent. Bodyguards and police officers open fire on his van, but he flees. Shortly, Flint rushes down the street from the building, aiming his gun towards Polo. However, Interpol officials open fire on him first. The Romanian cops glance back at the Interpol agents, but they flee in their car. Then notice Flint and chase him down, but given his assassination skills, he dispatches them with ease. While watching the arrow, Polo vows vengeance for his brother's death. His gang members encourage him to hide elsewhere, but he insists on first finding his brother's murderer. The scene turns to Vincent, who is attempting to remain cool following the failed attempt on Polo. He hears October screaming. When he comes out, he notices that Telly is beating her. He requests that the noise and violence cease. When Telly ignores him, he hits him and orders him to leave the hallway. October then stands up and tries to open the door, but it is locked. Vincent welcomes her and advises her not to move around his apartment. He receives a call from his contractor, who informs him of Polo's location. Vincent emerges from his secret apartment and requests that October leave. However, she begs him to let her stay for the night. He hesitates, but permits her to stay for one night before departing. The action now switches to Flint. He is battling guards at a dockyard. When he enters, he is confronted by Vincent. They both fight and attempt to murder each other. Vincent blames Flint, accusing him of obstructing his shots on Polo. Flint requests that he lower his weapons. He tells him that it will be best if they work together to obtain him. He declares that he will not accept any money. Vincent inquires as to why he is doing it for free. He responds that he has a history of disagreements with Polo and has come to exact revenge on him. He informs him that he knows someone who can assist them in finding him. They go to his arms dealer and inquire about Polo's whereabouts. After threatening him, he reveals that Polo is staying at the Royal Grand Hotel. Following this, Vincent shoots him from behind. Flint becomes enraged and informs him that he wanted the man alive in order to entice Polo into his trap. Vincent holds him responsible for the misunderstanding. They seize his automatic machine gun in order to disguise his murder as a break-in. Polo obtains a security camera image of Vincent at the Royal Grand Hotel. He directs his guy to locate him. When Vincent enters his apartment, he discovers October sleeping inside his concealed unit. He shakes her awake and inquires as to how she got into this unit of the residence. She informs him that he left the door open the night before. That night, Flint makes a surprise attack to Interpol Chief Herod. Before sparing him, he warns him to get his troops out of his way or he will kill him and his wife. Herod meets his agents the next morning and pledges to provide them everything they want, such as weapons, resources, or money to kill Flint. He then leaves, giving them 48 hours to murder him. In the next scene, Polo visits Nalbandian. He asks him about Vincent and threatens to kill him if he doesn't comply, and his troops draw their weapons. At that precise moment, Nalbandian summons his men. The Interpol is also around and wants Polo to help them intercept Flint in exchange for lifetime immunity. When Polo notices this, he tosses the picture of Vincent on Nalbandian's table and asks him for the price of handing him over. Nalbandian then drives down Vincent's street. Vincent gets into his car and inquires as to what brought him here. He informs him that he came to provide him excellent news regarding his goal. He offers him twice his normal fee. He instructs him to take his new acquaintance, Flint, to a specified location and time. When Vincent accepts, he instructs him to meet him at City Hall the next day at 9 a.m. He gives him 1/3 of the money up front. After some time, Polo meets Vincent's neighbor, Telly. He tells him he recognizes Vincent and gives him the address. The action turns to Vincent and Flint visiting City Hall. Flint inspects the entire structure while waiting for Polo. Upon noticing him, he prepares to take his shot, but the men interrupt him. After a short fight, the goons manage to overpower him. He gives Vincent a very fierce look. Flint encounters Polo, who mocks him that he will see his wife again before they leave. Later, Vincent goes to his contractor's office to pick up his payment. As he leaves, a phone call comes in. Polo is on the phone, claiming to have located Vincent. Polo claims to hold October hostage, and would only exchange her for Vincent. Vincent hangs up the phone and ends his collaboration with Nalbandian, claiming that he had gone behind his back. On the other hand, Agent Godfrey is threatening Flint with terrible torture if he doesn't hand him Interpol's money. But Flint remains resistant and fails to comply. In the other scenario, Vincent returns to his flat and discovers that everything is damaged. October was slain, and Polo snatched his gems as well. He returns to his contractor, Nalbandian, and inquires about the whereabouts of Flint. He pays him some diamonds for the intel, and after some time, he informs him that he has been taken to Polo's cousin's factory. Flint is being tortured to reveal the whereabouts of the money he stole from the Interpol. Shortly, one of the goons collapses with knives on his back. They get alert and look around for the perpetrator. Vincent emerges from behind the roof's bars and he murders them. Flint then manages to strangle the last man to death. Flint questions him about why he set him up, and he admits it was his mistake, which is why he returned. He picks him up and puts him in the car. On the way, Flint calls his home and requests that his housekeeper, Mrs. Pavlescu, remove his wife and out of the house. His line drops in the middle of the call, and he becomes concerned. He requests that Vincent turn his car around. Polo arrives with several of his goons as Mrs. Pavlescu is attempting to recall him. He shoots her right there. Vincent and Flint arrive to his house early in the morning. They notice Polo's men standing watch outside the house. They try to devise a strategy to bring all of them out. At this point, Flint receives a phone call. Polo is on the phone, and he asks him to turn on his camera. When he turns it on, he threatens him that his wife will be killed if they do not surrender in 15 minutes. They give up. They search them and take Flint's phone and Vincent's diamond sack. They then take them inside the house. Vincent informs him that there are over 10 million. He will give him the money if he lets him go. He requests that one of his men show him his diamond pouch. When he notices this, he begins to pay attention to him. Flint and Vincent then argue with each other. Vincent flings him over the table. In a blink of an eye, he takes the phone. It is actually the machine gun's laser. He activates it and points at them. From behind the window, the gun fires on them. Except for Polo, it kills them all. Flint grabs Polo with one hand while brandishing a knife with the other. He yells at him to ask his wife's pardon. He does it, but he eventually kills him, telling him that she can't hear him any longer. The film concludes with Vincent killing Telly and Flint killing the corrupt Interpol chief, Herod. Vincent visits the chapel and remembers October by lighting a candle for her, bringing the movie to the end. Thanks for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more of these recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.